Good morning, traders, and welcome to this week's weekly market analysis, Monday, the 1st of June. Let's have a look at what's happened last week. We'll start off with the US, where we saw on Friday Mr. Trump announce the termination of relationships between the US and the World Health Organization. This was, of course, no surprise. It was largely expected. Overall, it wasn't significantly impacting on the US dollar. We did also see last week lots of threats from Mr. Trump regarding breaking ties with Hong Kong in their relationships. On Friday, when the announcement came, he didn't say anything regarding that. So overall, it was a positive view on the US dollar. And overall, for the week, the US dollar had, let's call it, a fair week. If we move along to Europe, we saw of course, the easing of the lockdowns, which is going throughout many parts of the world. It was taken quite with a lot of confidence from investors throughout the Eurozone. Also, the extended COVID stimulus announcement has helped significantly, and the euro was one of the better performing currencies for last week. Locally in Australia, our Aussie dollar had a steady week against the US greenback, had put it on around about 120 pips for the week. The China relations that were dominating the headlines have moved away from the spotlight somewhat. Also, the Victorian Premier has signed on for some continuation of agreements with China. So the spotlight and that nastiness seems to have dissipated. It hasn't affected our Australian dollar, and as I said, the Aussie dollar did have a steady week. That's pretty much what's happened. Let me bring my charts forward and let's start off on our weekly market analysis. Kicking off with the Aussie US dollar. As you can see, we have been recovering nicely, of course at a slower rate than that initial fall, but we have been recovering. We did see an opportunity over here. We called that trade out earlier in the week. It was a little bit on the aggressive side, but it definitely played out. The reversal there, the price action reversal on the dip, and then the break forward. At the moment, the game plan here is, well, first of all, I'm just going to put a marker. We are coming to like a first zone. There's a little bit of a bump there where the market pushes off. Can it bounce off? I'm not sure. Let's monitor it. But the game plan for the Aussie dollar here would be to try and see if it bounces down and buy on dips. But of course, we're looking for price action to occur in the dips in this circled area, and then we would be happy to take long trades in continuation of that trend. I'm very interested to see if we in fact are going to break a little bit through that and then do the dip, or will this level right now hold and then something along those lines. So at the moment, that's the game plan. The trend seems to be intact. I've just marked out a possible resistance level. It's not an extremely strong one, but I've marked that out nevertheless, just so that I can see what I'm thinking of and what the thoughts on this particular trade are. Let's see if we get an opportunity on a dip to find some kind of price action reversal so that we can continue the trade in a forward direction. Okay, let's move it along. Let's have a look at our Euro USD. All right, first of all, let me get rid of this line now. I don't need it anymore. We were tracking a consolidating zone, and remember I was saying this is eventually it's going to break out in one direction or another. We have the break now in that direction. So what I also want to point out is that I possibly have another level. Let me just draw another level here. I'm just interested to see, I wonder if perhaps we may get a little bit of resistance off that level there. Now let me just delete a few lines. I don't want this one in here anymore. Let it go. And this one here, I'm just going to leave it for a little bit longer because I'll tell you why in a moment. What I'm thinking is if this does pull back, it could pull back to this region here, and we could get the price action reversal there to attempt to trade in the upward direction. All right, so the game plan for the Euro USD is, first of all, let's see what happens right now. Okay, if I produce any kind of price action reversal right now, because I'm on that level, I would be happy to trade in the downward direction. All right, that's the most the closest next scenario. So that's number one. Secondly, whether it bounces back or continues or whatever, let's say it continues to move forward, we don't get the price action, we don't get a trade, that's okay. Then on a pullback, I'm looking for pullbacks to get some kind of reversal in that circle area that I've just drawn in, and then look for the trade in that direction. How far this pullback goes, well, usually what we do is we wait for a confirmation, which is that reversal, and then that will tell you how far that pullback goes. All right, so there you have it. That's the game plan. First instant, let's see if we can produce reversal right now and try and trade it down. If that doesn't happen, let's look for the pullback, and then we'll try and trade in continuation of what could be a new trend. Okay, there you have it. That's my Euro USD. Let's have a look at the US yen. Okay, very tight trading range on the US yen. It continues to just hover around that line. It came back, it touched it there. So this line seems to be, it looks like it's doing this until it moves away. All right, I don't really want to do anything, and in fact, let me just grab another line. I just want to add a line. Let's see if it can move away and past this level here that I'm marking out. Okay, that's a bit of a crooked line, but let me just fix it up. There we go. Let's see if it can move away from that. So that line is not, I'm not trying to trade off that line, I'm just putting it there as a marker just so that I can see if we can move away from it. Okay, at the moment this one, there's nothing at all on this particular chart, so let's just move along. GBP USD, I marked out this falling channel, and we see that we've had this level was respected. We've had two up there, and we've had this one here. So we are approaching this one. So what we want to do is, as we approach that top level, naturally what I'm going to be looking for is to trade it back into the channel. And what I'm going to look for is, as always, I'm going to look for a reversal pattern to confirm the change of the direction for me, which increases the probability and trading right back down the channel. So this is a pretty simple one. We just have to wait. This may happen towards later in the week. Of course, this week we have a lot of data being released, so the movements could be quite nice this particular week. So the GBP USD, our game plan is, let's wait till we move towards the top of the channel. At the top of the channel, we are going to attempt to trade back in once we get a confirmation of reversal. US CAD. All right, the US CAD, I was trying to track a horizontal channel. The top line, however, wasn't really respected, so let me just get rid of it now. I'll just get rid of it completely. And in fact, it turned into a converging triangle. Now, we have broken through, and this is really a strong sell candle. So typically when that happens, what we would expect next is from there to this to continue to fall. Now it has not fallen as yet, so the game plan that we could apply here is as follows. Let me extend this one out more in this direction. What I can do is, let's see if we can pull up a little bit more, and somewhere on that fringe where I've drawn that circle, we can get a confirmation of the trend reversing or a reversal pattern, and then we may be able to take the trade from there in the downward direction. Okay, now what I'm also seeing right now, and give me one moment, let me just double check this. Just want to get I just want to, give me one moment. Let me just move this line out of the way. It's confusing me a little bit. I'm just trying to see if I've got a bit of a channel as well. Seems to be, but in any case, this is not a reversal here, so I haven't had a trading opportunity. Okay, there could be a fall in channel there, but it's not that crash shot. So let me just, I'm going to delete it, and I'm just going to put back this line where I had it. We'll stick to plan A. Sometimes you see many things in a chart, so okay, let's stick to plan A. What we're looking for is, there was a converging triangle. It has broken down, and now we're waiting for a pullback into previous support. We can see that there was previously support at that level there, and now let's see if that level acts as resistance, pulls back, provides for us a price action reversal, and gives us an opportunity to trade down. That is the game plan for the US CAD this week. Moving along, let's have a look at the Kiwi dollar. Okay, this line, I don't need it. There was some very similar to the US CAD, but in the opposite direction. However, this one doesn't look as good as the Kiwi CAD, as the US CAD did. So we're going to change this one. Let's see if we can get a channel on this one. Yeah, see, the channel fits much nicer on this particular one than we had previously. Okay, so you can see here clearly I've got this 1 and 2 at the bottom. I've got 1, 2, and I'm here right now. Let's see. Let me zoom in a little bit so I can make this obvious. Right now, as it stands, these two candles are an inside candle situation, which is a reversal pattern for us. However, this particular little one here has only just started, so we still got to wait for that candle to complete. If it completes and it still remains as an inside candle, well, then that is a setup for us to basically trade down, and we will see this one tomorrow morning. So Kiwi US dollar, add this one to your hot list, and let's look at it tomorrow morning to see if it is a setup. And that type of trade would be trading inside the channel back towards the opposite side. Okay, Kiwi US dollar. Move it along. Let's have a look at crude oil, and we have that air gap which was created a little while ago, and let me just draw a straight line on this particular one. Just get a let me get rid of the air gap. Okay, we can see now clearly that the market is there. What it's naturally trying to do is, all the gap traders, they're trying to fill that gap up. So basically they want the price to jump back up to that level. If we do fill it, when we get to this level, if we get any kind of reversal there, that's definitely an opportunity, because once the gap has been filled, it's kind of like a niche. You've scratched it, you have relief, and then basically a lot of people bail out of the trade. So if you imagine that there's many buyers and they're buying, and it's pushing the price up, as soon as they get towards closing the gap, what do? They want to cash out on their profits, so they sell. Selling basically reverses the market back in the opposite direction. Okay, so if it does get to this level, we could expect some kind of a quick pullback on that. In the meantime, this itself could act as a resistance level, and there could be a trading opportunity off this level right now. So let's look carefully. Let me mark another line on the other side so that I remember exactly what my thoughts are. So all I'm doing here is I'm highlighting the air gap. Okay, where the price jumped straight across. We haven't had any activity there. Let's see if that gets filled, and let's see, initially look for an opportunity down this way. If it doesn't, then I would look for another one on the other side of that gap. All right, there you have it. That's crude oil for this week. Moving along, let's have a look at the ASX 200. Okay, I had tried to capture the ASX inside a channel over here. It broke through, moved away nicely, and now it's pulled back. Now, if this is in trend, let me just get rid of this bottom line here. Let me get rid of this one. If this is in trend, as an example, naturally what we like to do in trend is on pullbacks, we will look for opportunities of price action reversal to continue trading in the direction of the trend. So this is what we will do here. Nothing special. Let's see if we can get any opportunities on pullbacks to become buyers and continue in the trend in this direction. Okay, so there you have it, ASX 200. Finally, for this week, gold. All right, this chart, let me have a look. I think I can see a little bit of a channel here. Let me double check it. Okay, I like this top line. We've had a lot of touches in that area. Okay, and down here as well, but we're kind of in the middle of that zone in any case. Let me just alter a little bit. What I would naturally be looking for here is, as we approach that level, can I get a trading opportunity back down in this direction? Since right now I'm roughly halfway in the middle between that channel, there is nothing I can really do. So naturally what I want to do is I want to look for the opportunities either at the top, or if this pulls back down and it comes down to this level, well then I want to look for trades back up in that direction. Okay, so where we are right now, we're kind of in the middle. We have to wait and see what develops, but that would be the best game plan, or the highest probability game plan for us this week with gold. Okay, all right, now before we move, that completes my analysis for the week. Let me show you our chart of the day. I did find something for you. Let's have a look. What is it? It's the US CAD. All right. The game plan here is we've had the breakdown. We can see that there was a support level that supported this price movement. We've broken down. Let's see if it can pull back, produce for us price action reversal, and then attempt to trade it back down. Okay, so there you have it. This was the best chart that I found this morning. It's a US CAD daily timescale, and it is our chart of the day this morning. All right, let's have a look at the week ahead. Just some of the highlights. We have 3 central banks which are providing rates decision, including our own, the RBA. We also have the Bank of Canada and the ECB in Europe, which will make interest rates decisions and monetary policies. We also have labour market data due out for Australia and Canada, and of course at the end of the week we have non-farm payrolls numbers due out for the US. So it is a big week in terms of data. There should be some nice movements offered for us, so please be aware of any data. Watch the daily call so that you can see what I flag out for you to be aware of, so that you don't get caught up in anything that you do not want to be part of. Guys, that wraps up the session today. As always, please feel free to contact us if you do have any questions. Follow me on Twitter at ChatFX for trade setups and breaking news. Most importantly, hope you all have a fantastic trading day. I'll speak to you tomorrow for the daily call. Bye for now.